the Baltic beauties who dance away inhibitions every midsummer night. Picture arriving in Lithuania during Jonins, the midsummer festival, and discovering thousands of people gathering in forests and fields as the sun barely sets, where the night becomes a celebration so uninhibited that married couples playfully flirt with strangers, partners swap dancing companions without jealousy, and ancient pagan traditions create an atmosphere where normal social rules dissolve into something primal and intoxicating. Lithuanian women during this festival transform from their usual reserved demeanor into celebrants of nature and freedom, wearing flower crowns in their hair, their pale skin glowing in bonfire light, their blue or green eyes reflecting flames as they dance to folk music that hasn't changed in 1,000 years. These are women shaped by Baltic genetics, tall and slender with angular features that photographers spend careers trying to capture, high cheekbones that could belong to models, and a natural elegance that requires no enhancement. But here's what captivates foreign men most. Lithuanian women possess a mysterious duality, appearing cold and distant in daily life yet revealing warmth and passion once trust is established. They're highly educated, fiercely independent, and carry themselves with dignity inherited from a nation that has survived centuries of occupation without losing its identity. The Baltic nation that refused to disappear. Lithuania covers 65,300 square kilometers on the southeastern shore of the Baltic Sea, making it the largest of the 3 Baltic states. Look at a map and Lithuania sits wedged between Latvia to the north, Belarus to the east and south, Poland to the southwest, and the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad to the west. This geographic position has defined Lithuanian history, placing it at the crossroads where Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant influences collided. Lithuania was once a massive medieval power, the Grand Duchy that stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea in the 14th and 15th centuries. Then came centuries of decline, partition, occupation by Tsarist Russia, independence between the world wars, brutal Soviet annexation in 1940, Nazi occupation, Soviet reconquest, and 50 years of communist rule before finally regaining independence in 1990. This history of resistance and survival shapes Lithuanian character, creating people who value independence fiercely, trust slowly, and maintain traditions as acts of defiance. Geography of forests, lakes, and ancient spirits. Lithuanian landscape feels haunted in the best way possible. Dense forests cover 33% of the country, ancient woodlands where pagan spirits supposedly still dwell according to local beliefs. Over 2,800 lakes. The terrain, creating a watery landscape where fishing and boating dominate summer activities. The Curonian Spit, a 98-kilometer sand dune peninsula separating the Curonian Lagoon from the Baltic Sea, creates one of Europe's most unusual natural formations, with dunes reaching 60 meters high that shift and move with wind. Winters are harsh, with temperatures dropping below -20 degrees Celsius. Summers are brief but glorious, with temperatures reaching 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and daylight lasting until nearly midnight in June. This dramatic seasonal shift influences everything from cultural practices to the Lithuanian psyche. Vilnius, the Baroque capital of survivors. Vilnius, the capital with 580,000 inhabitants, features one of Europe's largest surviving medieval old towns, a UNESCO World Heritage Site packed with Baroque churches, cobblestone streets, and courtyards that reveal centuries of architectural layers. The old town covers 3.6 square kilometers, containing over 1,200 buildings. Yet Vilnius never became a tourist trap, maintaining authentic daily life where locals actually live and work in the historic center. A meal at a mid-range restaurant costs $12 to $20 or 11 to 18 euros. A decent hotel room runs $50 to $100 or 46 to 92 euros per night. Uzupis, a Bohemian neighborhood that declared itself an independent republic as an artistic statement, features galleries, cafes, and a constitution posted on walls in multiple languages, including humorous clauses about the right to be lazy. Trakai, the island castle of legends. Trakai, just 28 kilometers from Vilnius, features an island castle sitting picturesquely in Lake Galve, looking like something from a fairy tale with its red brick towers reflected in the water. This 14th century castle was home to Lithuanian Grand Dukes and now serves as the country's most visited tourist attraction. The town also hosts the Karaim people, a small Turkic ethnic group brought to Lithuania in medieval times, who maintain their own distinct language and cuisine, including kibenai, meat-filled pastries that have become a Lithuanian specialty. The Midsummer Festival where boundaries dissolve. Now here's where we reveal the truth behind that provocative title about partner swapping. Jonins, celebrated on June 24th, represents Lithuania's most important traditional festival, predating Christianity by centuries and maintaining pagan practices that the Catholic Church could never fully suppress. On this shortest night of the year, Lithuanians gather in rural areas for celebrations involving bonfires, folk songs, traditional foods, and rituals rooted in nature worship and fertility rites. Young women weave flower crowns and throw them into rivers, with tradition saying the man who retrieves the crown will be their future husband. Couples jump over bonfires together to ensure their relationship survives the coming year. People search for the mythical fern flower that supposedly blooms only on this magical night. But here's the part that shocks conservative observers. The festival creates an atmosphere where normal social inhibitions vanish, where married people openly flirt and dance with others, where traditional monogamy rules temporarily suspend, and where what happens during Jonins stays at Jonins. This isn't about organized partner swapping in any modern sense, but rather a cultural understanding that this one night allows freedom from ordinary constraints, a pressure valve where passions suppressed the rest of the year find acceptable release. Women who embody Baltic steel. Lithuanian women are often described as among Europe's most beautiful, though their beauty comes packaged with formidable independence. They're highly educated, with Lithuania having one of the highest rates of university education globally, and women outnumber men in higher education significantly. They work in all professional fields and expect absolute equality in relationships. Dating Lithuanian women requires patience because their initial coldness isn't rejection but cultural reserve. They don't smile at strangers, don't engage in small talk, and view excessive friendliness as fake. But once they decide someone is trustworthy, their loyalty becomes absolute. They're also brutally honest, a trait foreigners find either refreshing or shocking. Lithuanian women won't play games, won't hint at what they want, and won't tolerate disrespect. This directness extends to physical relationships, where they're comfortable initiating and expressing desires without shame. Food and drink that reflect the land. Lithuanian cuisine centers on hearty, simple foods designed to provide energy during harsh winters. Cepelinai, large potato dumplings filled with meat and topped with bacon and sour cream, are the national dish. Saltabarshii, cold beet soup served bright pink with potatoes and hard-boiled eggs, provides summer refreshment. Dark rye bread accompanies every meal. But the real Lithuanian specialty is alcohol. Beer consumption is high, with local breweries producing excellent lagers. Mead, honey wine, connects to pagan traditions. Most infamous is Lithuanian vodka and various herbal liqueurs, including troctine, a 35% spirit infused with herbs that locals swear has medicinal properties. Modern life in a traditional society. Contemporary Lithuania balances between modern European Union member state and repository of ancient traditions. Young people in Vilnius work in tech startups, travel internationally, and engage with global culture. Yet most still celebrate traditional festivals, speak Lithuanian at home despite English fluency, and maintain strong family bonds. The cost of living remains relatively low compared to Western Europe. A comfortable monthly budget for a single person runs $1,000 to $1,500 or €920 to €1,380 including rent. Salaries for professionals range from $1,500 to $3,000 or €1,380 to €2,760 monthly. The verdict on this Baltic mystery. So we've explored this fascinating nation, from its stunning women who reserve passion for those who earn trust, to its forests and lakes that still feel touched by pagan magic, from its midsummer festivals that temporarily suspend social rules to its history of survival against impossible odds. We've discovered why Lithuania maintains an outsized cultural significance, why its festivals preserve traditions that disappeared elsewhere, and why its people balance European modernity with ancient customs. That provocative detail about partner swapping during Jonins reveals a culture comfortable with contradictions, where Catholic piety coexists with pagan rituals, where reserve masks passion, and where strict social norms suspend during liminal moments. For travelers seeking authenticity beyond typical tourist destinations, Lithuania offers profound experiences, affordable prices, and encounters with people whose depth rewards patience. Now we want to hear from you. Drop a comment telling us which city or country you're watching from and whether you'd attend a Jonins festival. What aspect of Lithuanian culture surprised you most? Hit that hype button and smash the like button because it costs nothing but helps our channel grow. We're grateful for every view. Before you go, click one of the suggested videos on screen to discover more incredible cultures that mainstream travel content ignores. Until next time, keep exploring beyond the obvious.